Okay friends, so in nutrition now we will see the autotrophic mode of nutrition, and for that purpose we need to see the plant nutrition. Okay, now we know the plant are the autotrophs and they synthesize their own food, and the process by which a plant produce their own food is called the photosynthesis. And why this is called photosynthesis? Because a plant cell, they utilize or in the presence of sunlight, light means photo, and by using the carbon dioxide and water from the surrounding, they synthesize, they produce their food, which is mainly an organic compound, carbohydrate or sugar, is called a photosynthesis. So, what is photosynthesis? Okay. In presence of sunlight, ठीक है, okay, what it is taking? It is taking carbon dioxide from the air, it is taking sunlight from the surrounding, and it is taking water from the soil, and in their leaves, in the green part of leaves, they are producing a organic compound, and this process is in a pigment, in a green part of a leaf, and in presence of a pigment which is known as the chlorophyll. So, this process is in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, and they utilize the carbon dioxide from the surrounding and water from the soil, and they produce the organic compound. So, what is the photosynthesis? So, photosynthesis is a chemical process in which carbon dioxide and water makes or produce carbohydrate in chlorophyll pigment in the presence of sunlight. Okay. So, make को यहाँ पर हम synthesize कर देते हैं. Okay, that will be more relevant term. Okay, so what it is? Photosynthesis is a chemical process in which carbon dioxide and H2O synthesize carbohydrate in the chlorophyll pigment in the presence of sunlight. Okay, so what photosynthesis is? It is a chemical process in which a plant utilizes carbon dioxide and H2O to synthesize carbohydrate in chlorophyll pigment and in the presence of sunlight. Okay, so this is the photosynthesis through which autotrophs, that is plant, they produce their own food, their own carbohydrate food. Okay, so another definition could be the photosynthesis is a chemical process in which plants convert carbon dioxide and water in synthesis of carbohydrate or sugar in presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. Okay, so now we understand to photosynthesis occur, what a plant will need: a carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and a green pigment which is called as chlorophyll. Okay, so this process can be write down in this formula. Okay, so in this process what plants are doing, there is a reaction going on in the carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sun and chlorophyll, which is synthesizing carbohydrate and releasing oxygen. Okay, so in this process, in the process of photosynthesis, the plant releases the oxygen, which is very important for the human being which are breathe in the oxygen. Okay, so this is the process of photosynthesis. Now we will see the pigment which is very important for the photosynthesis to occur, which is a chlorophyll, and this is known as the green pigment. So we'll read about chlorophyll or the pigment of photosynthesis. Okay, so what it is? Chlorophyll is a green pigment, okay, which occur in the green part of the plant. Okay, and each and every cell of green जो green part होता है plant का, in that part the cells are having this chlorophyll pigment, and this chlorophyll pigment is rest in a organelle which is called chloroplast. Okay, so this pigment resides in chloroplast, and this chloroplast are in the mesophyll layer of a green part of plant, and in that mesophyll layer each and every cells has around 50 to 60 chloroplast in a cell, and these chloroplasts are having chlorophyll pigment. Why this chlorophyll pigment is green in color? Because this chlorophyll pigment, it absorbs the red and blue light of sunlight and it disperses the green light. So this green light is visible to us, and so this pigment looks green in color. So this chlorophyll pigment looks green in color, and why I already described. Okay, so this chlorophyll pigment is resides in the chloroplast. So now we will see the site of photosynthesis. Okay, so we saw the pigment of photosynthesis. Now we will see the site of photosynthesis. What is the part of plant where the photosynthesis occur? So we will now see the site of photosynthesis. Okay. Okay. So site of photosynthesis is, I already told you, the chloroplast, where the green pigment or the chlorophyll occur. Okay, so chloroplast का structure हम देखेंगे. Chloroplast usually जो है green part में रहता है plant के, और वो green color ही green pigment की वजह से होता है. So the chloroplast जो रहता है यूजुअली मीजोफिल लेयर में रहता है. ओके, if we see a leaf structure, then we see the three layer, the outer layer, the middle layer and the lower layer. So the upper and middle, upper layer is epidermis, which is formed by the cuticle. The middle layer is called mesophyll, which is having two part, a palisade layer and the spongy layer. Okay, so mesophyll layer is a middle part which are having the chloroplast in the cells. Okay, and the lower layer is also a epidermis. Okay, so mesophyll layer, the chloroplast occur in the mesophyll layer, which is a middle layer of leaf. Okay, so middle layer of leaf is called as mesophyll layer, which in which the mesophyll cells are there. Okay, जो mesophyll layer रहेगी उसमें mesophyll cells होती हैं, and these mesophyll cells has a special kind of organelle which is called as chloroplast. Okay, so we will see the structure of a chloroplast. Okay, so now we will see the structure of chloroplast. Okay. So if we see a small mesophyll cell, then what it will have? It will have, okay, these are the different mesophyll cell, okay, like this, and each mesophyll cell, ठीक है, we are taking the mesophyll layer of a leaf in which various mesophyll cells are there, ठीक है. So this is mesophyll cell, ठीक है, in which around 50 in number chloroplast organelles are there. So in this mesophyll cells, small chloroplasts are there like this. Okay, these are the chloroplasts which occupy a mesophyll cell. Okay, and they are around 50 in number, and they are around 5 to 6 micrometer in diameter. ठीक है, so one chloroplast is around 5 to 6 micrometer in diameter. Okay, so in this way various chloroplasts around 15 numbers, they occupy a mesophyll cells, the mesophyll cells which is occurring in, which rest in mesophyll layer, of a leaf. ठीक है, then if we see one chloroplast, ठीक है, if we see one chloroplast like this, if we see one chloroplast, then in this way a chloroplast is there, and if we see, it is a discoid structure, biconcave structure. Chloroplast is, okay, so biconcave structure होता है, discoid shape होता है, इसकी 3 membrane होती हैं. It has 3 membrane which are called outer membrane, middle membrane and inner membrane. Okay, so outer membrane is very thin and permeable. The middle membrane, it is having various proteins which are helping into the photosynthesis. Then the inner membrane is called thylakoid membrane. Thylakoid membrane, which is covering the chlorophyll pigment or thylakoid stacks. ठीक है, तो thylakoids, what is thylakoids? This is in the chloroplast, there is a structure look like stacks of coin. Okay, what is stacks of coin? If we put coins one upon another, then what it forms? A stack kind of structure, like coins. If we put one coin upon another, then it forms a stack of coin. So if we see the chloroplast structure, internal structure of chloroplast, then it has a structure which looks like a stacks of coins. Okay, so this is the structure which we are calling stacks of coin, and these stacks of coin are thylakoids, which are made up of chlorophyll pigment. Okay, so this is a thylakoids structure. Okay, and the thylakoid membrane, the inner membrane is covering these thylakoids. Okay, so this is what? This is a chloroplast. ठीक है, यहाँ पर these small structures are these, not this small structure, but this chloroplast. Okay, this small structure in the mesophyll cells. ठीक है, then these are called thylakoids, which are the stakes of coin. Then the outer membrane, the middle membrane, and then the internal membrane. The thylakoid membrane, which is what covering the thylakoids, is called the thylakoid membrane. The middle membrane and the thylakoid, which is almost covering the thylakoids. Okay, the space between the thylakoid membrane and the other membrane is called stroma. Okay, the space between the thylakoid membrane and the chloroplast membrane is called stroma. Okay, so there is a, okay, this is the membrane which is covering the thylakoids, and the space between this and the outer membrane is called stroma. Why this is important? Because when we see the mechanism of photosynthesis, so there is a two step in which the photosynthesis is occurring. So the second step is occur in the stroma only, and the first step occur into the thylakoids or pigments. Okay, so in this way the chloroplast structure we have seen. So what it is? Chloroplast are the organelle which resides into the mesophyll cells of mesophyll layer of a plant, and the chloroplast is organelle which occur in the mesophyll cell, and it is discoid in shape, it is biconcave, it is having three membrane, outer, middle and thylakoid membrane. Okay, when we see internally, it has a structure like stacks of coin which are joined by each other, which are joined. Okay, you can see there is a structure which are joining these stacks. Okay, so chloroplasts are having thylakoids in it, and thylakoids are like stacks of coin. Okay, the outer membrane and middle membrane are called the chloroplast membrane, the inner membrane is called the thylakoid membrane. The space between chloroplast membrane and thylakoid membrane is called the stroma. Okay, so this is the structure of chloroplast. We have also seen the chloroplast are around 5 to 6 in micron meter in diameter, and they are around 50 in number in each mesophyll cell. Okay, and the thylakoids are around 1 micron meter in diameter. Okay, so in this way we have seen the site of photosynthesis, which is a chloroplast, which is an organelle of a mesophyll cell where the photosynthesis reaction or process takes place. Okay, so in this way we have seen the plant nutrition, which is a photosynthesis process, and then we have seen the pigment of photosynthesis, which is chlorophyll. Then we have seen the site of photosynthesis, which is a chloroplast organelle, and in this way we have seen how a plant produces or synthesizes its own nutrition, and now we will see the mechanism of photosynthesis in detail.